Today, we will explain the robot's socket communication function based on TCP IP protocol. First, we open the demonstrator operation page. Create a new program. The robot acts as the client side to communicate with third-party software. There are basically 4 instructions. The first code is socket open. The second code is socket close. The third code is sockets and string. The fourth code is socket string. We use these 4 codes mainly. The main function of the first code is to establish a communication with the server. The second code is to shut down communication with the server. The third code is for the robot to send a string to the server. The fourth code is for the robot to read the string sent by the server. So, we're going to go through each of those 4 instructions. The first instruction is for the robot to establish a communication with the server level. The code has a total of 3 parameters. The first parameter is the Internet Protocol address of the server. The second parameter is the port number of the server. First of all, the IP of the robot is 192.168.58.2. We now have robots as the client side. The IP of the robot is 192.168.58.2. If the robot is as the client side, we need to start a third-party software. First, we need to set the computer's IP to the same network segment as the robot's IP. First, we open the network configuration. Then find Ethernet. Then we need to set the Internet Protocol address to the same network segment of 192.168.58.2, like 192.168.58.29. Then confirm the IP set of LAN. Then the Internet Protocol address of our server is 192.168.58.29. Then we set a port number at will, such as 5020. The first parameter is the Internet Protocol address of the server. The second parameter is the port number. The third parameter is the channel ID we want to establish. There are 4 channels, from socket_0 to socket_3. Then define a return variable, which is TCP, and assign the return value to TCP. First, in this while loop, we determine the value of TCP. If TCP is equal to 0, we establish communication. The socket open directive sends a return value of 1 if communication with the server is successful. If communication is established normally with the server. If it fails, send a return value of 0. Then when the return value of TCP is 1, the communication is established successfully. In this case, we can send a string to the server. The first parameter is the content of the string we want to send, such as Hello World. The second parameter is the channel ID sent, which is the socket_0 we just created. The third parameter is whether to block. The default is O. Then after sending, we can read the reply from the server. The first parameter is the identifier of the socket channel, socket_0. The second parameter is whether to block 0, block non-zero value, delay time. If it is not 0, it is the reading time. If it exceeds the time, proceed to the next step. Then the return value of the socket string code is the content of the string sent by the server. Then we monitor this variable. You can first judge the length of this string. After writing, let's save the file. Then we open a third-party software. We can use the Network Debugging Assistant as the server level. Then we choose the network protocol type as the server. Then select the address and port number of the local machine. Then start the server firstly. Then we switch the robot to automatic mode and run the program. Click to run. Then we can see that the Network Debugging Assistant can receive the string sent by the robot, Hello World. Then we send a string back to the robot through the Network Debugging Assistant, yes. We can see the string sent by the server level through the monitoring end of the robot operation interface, yes. In this case, the robot as the client side can communicate with external third-party software. We can also design some interaction logic between robots and external devices based on such communication instructions. Then in this section, the robot as the client side and the debugging assistant software for TCP IP communication is completed. Thank you very much.